Is Floyd family attorney Benjamin Crump trying to start a racial riot? It's a serious question. So how else would you interpret what he said earlier today?
The blood of Stephon Clark, the blood of Eric Gardner, and the blood of Michael Brown is on the hands of the American criminal justice system. The only question that we have before us today is, will Dante Wright name join that list? I want to encourage those protesters, those young people, those activists, that you're making a difference.
Here to respond, Candace Owens, host of Candace and author of Blackout. Candace, making a difference? What is he really encouraging there?
He's encouraging rioting and looting, and any person knows that. When you watch his words, he's signaling to you that it's okay right now. If you're a Black American and you feel aggrieved by another Black person dying, you can go out, you can riot, and you can loot, and we want this to keep happening. And look, easy analysis here, Laura. You know what this is. I know what this is. This is another race hustler. It's become a business. Race has become a business. Keeping racial issues alive has become a business in America. It's Al Sharpton yesterday, Jesse Jackson tomorrow, Ben Crump today. And this is the stuff that we see day in and day out. But a deeper analysis of this, a bigger question to ask ourselves as American right now is, what is going on in this country? You know, I'm past the part of looking at one person like Ben Crump and wanting to say, what are you doing, Ben Crump? The question is, why do we have people right now that are trying to fund the destruction of America? We didn't grow up in America like this. I don't know what this is. When you see Black versus white, men versus women, women versus men, when you see children versus adults, what is happening in this country, and who is it exactly that wants to see America torn apart from the inside out? Because that is what we are watching. We are watching the corrosion of America from the inside out.
Yeah, well, if America is systemically racist and inherently corrupt to its core, America has to be managed by another entity, perhaps, or everything has to be federalized and managed by a coterie of elites. I mean, it's got to be where it's going. But the unrest, Candace, in Minnesota, it's not exactly spontaneous. It's being pushed by a lot of these activist groups, and some of these held a press conference today. Watch.
This anger is being suppressed by the actions of the state. We are petitioning for the immediate dismissal of all charges of people that have been protesting for the entirety of the protests against the death of George Floyd, as well as all of the people that have been arrested this week.
Candace, this cabal of activist groups also announced a large protest on Monday, of course, the day the Chauvin trial does closing arguments. These are a lot of angry, white, guilt-ridden liberals.
Right, exactly. And let's be clear, this is not protesting. We know it's going to take place. It doesn't matter what the outcome of the Derek Chauvin trial is. What's going to happen is that Minnesota is going to be rioted, it's going to be looted, and you have a bunch of people that are going to say, this is just what Minnesota deserves. We need to make sure that George Floyd got justice because I get to run into a Target and steal a couple of flat screen TVs. What we're really seeing now is it's not about racial justice, this is about criminality. There's a bunch of criminals that are waiting to make sure that the trial is concluded so that they can go in and they can rob and they can loot and they can riot against corporations. The strange part, though, Laura, is the fact that the corporations are signaling that they're okay with this. The corporations don't see this as problematic. So what is it that the corporations are getting in return, that they're okay with people going into their stores and stealing money? In my opinion, it's power. Who is behind that power in this country that they want to see so much division? We know that this country cannot stand divided. We know that this country has never been this divided, at least not in my lifetime. I've never seen a country look like this. I've never seen people that are so hateful and so evil and that actually want to see America destroyed from the inside out. It is so alarming, and it seems like there is no end to the madness. It doesn't matter if you're a criminal. You can become a hero tomorrow if while you are committing a crime, you die at the hands of a police officer. It's wrong and it's backwards. And to me, I honestly feel like I don't recognize the country that I live in anymore.
No, and as Matt Walsh tweeted tonight, Candace, we have 13-year-old boys running around the inner city with loaded weapons and perhaps involved or no gang members. When are we going to have that conversation? That's a tragic, horrible situation. Candace, thank you for your forthright approach to all these issues.